Hello and welcome to Raven Fed, where we explore spiritual practices to help us remain calm, centered, and non-anxious in the midst of great changes that face us in life. I am Reverend Lisa Talbot. I serve the community of Homer, Alaska as a United Methodist pastor. Now, I don't know about you, but I have had a lot of sleepless nights lately. As this pandemic sweeps our world and our nations and our states and our communities, all of our anxiety is heightened right now, and that can cause a lot of stress, it can cause a lot of sleeplessness, and it can cause a lot of unhealthy habits. So, what can we do to help manage our anxiety during this time? How can we thoughtfully consume media? And how can we be really intentional about what we ingest, body and mind, during this time? Today, we're going to talk about a spiritual practice that focuses on what we ingest. We're going to talk about the practice of fasting. Fasting is all about restricting what we ingest, of intentionally and faithfully thinking about what we consume, all those things that we put in our bodies and minds. This is the liturgical season of Lent. It's the time of year that Christians typically do focus on taking on a spiritual discipline like fasting. And traditionally, the practice of fasting was fasting from food, abstaining from certain types of food like alcohol or caffeine, sweets, red meat, other foods that, were oftentimes considered luxury items. The practice of fasting has gained popularity in recent years as well, as intermittent fasting has shown some health benefits when we abstain from food for certain periods of time. But in a modern sense, fasting is about more than abstaining from food. In a modern practice, fasting can mean abstaining from anything that draws your time and attention away from God, away from your family, away from those things that you value most. That could very well mean fasting from certain foods or drinks, but it could also mean examining the habits of your life and determining what enhances your spiritual journey and what detracts from it. Right now, we are in an unprecedented age of information. We can't get away from it. TV, internet, social media, we have more information and misinformation coming at us than at any other point in history. And now in this time of pandemic, we are even more sensitive and anxious, and we can quickly become overloaded and overwhelmed with too much information. It's easy to be online constantly, searching for the latest updates and theories and cases and deaths and projections, and it all adds up until our anxiety just overwhelms us. So what if we practice fasting? What if we set aside time every day? What if we set aside time every week to fast from media, to purposefully and intentionally take time to turn off our TVs, turn off our computers, set down our cell phones, and take a break? It's going to be hard at first. The urge to pick up your phone and check your email, look at your feed, check your stories, your subscriptions, it's hard. It takes practice. It takes discipline to not give in to the constant urge to distract yourself. So take a moment to think about what might be right for you. Maybe you want to completely unplug one full day a week and give your heart and your brain and your spirit a complete break from consuming that outside information that can heighten your anxiety. Maybe every day you want to set aside a time period where you don't check your phone, Maybe it's when you first wake up in the morning and you give yourself a half hour to have a cup of coffee and wake up and come into the world in a new way without having the constant input from social media. Maybe it's before bed at night. Maybe you need to give yourself an hour-long social media break as part of your bedtime ritual, to turn off your phone, to set it aside, and to spend that last hour of the day before you go to sleep reading, praying, talking with family or friends, resting, having a cup of tea, just unwinding. Think about these changing rhythms right now of your days and weeks, as many of us are isolated in our homes and having to come up with new schedules. This is the perfect time to institute a new discipline if fasting has not been part of your practice before. And think about scheduling some time in your day or in your week to unplug and unwind. It's hard at first. The urge to pick up your phone and check your email, your feeds, your stories, your subscriptions, it's hard. It takes practice. That's why these are called spiritual disciplines. It takes discipline to not constantly give in to distraction. So decide what's right for you. Choose a time every day or every week where you can intentionally and purposefully unplug. Take a break. Fast from social media or all media so that you can help quiet your mind and calm your spirit. It seems simple, but it has a profound effect. I hope that you take some time today to unplug and find some calm in the midst of the storm. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Captain Tony wants to be an internet star, don't you, Captain Tony? This is my associate pastor. He is not very helpful. His pastoral care includes mostly beaks and claws, and his sermons contain some words that normally should not be said in church. So as a associate pastor, he leaves a little bit to be desired, but as a co-host, he's awfully cute. Let's do this all over again. All about, okay. Well, at least I hit record that time.